history is made. The Virginia Cavaliers are national champs. And tonight, your hometown station covers it all. From Minneapolis to Charlottesville. With team coverage everywhere. This special edition of WDBJ7 starts right now.
An exciting night. Thank you for staying up late with us. I'm Melissa Gayona.
And I'm Jean Jadhun. You saw it right here on WDBJ7. The Virginia Cavaliers overcame a tough Texas Tech Red Raiders team and a tie to win in overtime with the final score 85-77. The celebration for these NCAA champions started on the court, but it is far from over tonight.
And we have 8 anchors and reporters spread out in Charlottesville and Minneapolis, bringing you team coverage of this historic night. Let's go ahead and get started with Sports Director Travis Wells, who is live at US Bank Stadium. Travis, what a night for the Hoops.
It was. The Wahoo fans, happy Wahoo fans, starting to pour out of US Bank Stadium following the celebration for their team. Virginia was trying to become the first team to go from losing to a 16 seed in the first round of the NCAA tournament to winning a national title in the next year. Tonight's game featured Virginia and Texas Tech, 2 championship game newcomers. The last time that happened, 1979, when Magic Johnson of Michigan State met Larry Bird and Indiana State. Let's go inside. 72,000 plus fans got their money's worth. Kyle Guy getting the Who started, knocking down a tough jumper as UVA opened up an early 10-point lead. But Texas Tech hanging in thanks to some stellar three-point shooting, taking the lead with an 18-4 run. But just before the half, Ty Jerome going to step back and bury a 3-ball of his own from the top of the key. The Cavaliers were up by 3 at the half. In the second half, DeAndre Hunter found his groove in a big way. This is going to go down. The Red Raiders, though, kept hanging in. They battled back to lead by 3 late, but Hunter money down the stretch. He hits the corner 3. This thing's headed to overtime. In the extra frame, Hunter stepped up and drilled another big 3. He finished the night with 27 points. Guy finished with 24. Jerome had 16. And guess what? Virginia is king, winning the national title, the first one in school history, 85-77 your final. Now, while Hunter, Guy, and Jerome were absolutely sensational tonight, Tony Bennett and his team got some unsung contributions from some heroes, unlikely heroes. Mamadi Diakite's defense was sensational. He had several key blocks late, and Braxton Key played big minutes off the bench. Now, Anthony Romano is inside. He's in the victorious locker room. We hope to have some happy Who's for you and their comments on the national championship. Virginia's first ever, guys. We'll send it back to you in Roanoke.
I know. I would say with certainty we're going to have some happy Who's coming up from the locker room. All right, Travis Wells, thank you from Minneapolis. We'll be back with you guys out there.
Yeah, and as you guys know, if you watched our Facebook feed, John Paul Jones Arena was packed tonight as fans watched this championship game unfold. And WDBJ7's Logan Sherrill and Victoria Wood are going to continue our team coverage tonight. Guys, I watched some of the live feed and the atmosphere was electric.
I know.
To say the least, Mel, and you know, I know a lot of times people will give me grief for saying this, but it has to be said because it is part of this team's story.
Let's hear it.
From what this team went through last year, and to witness that, unfortunately, and then to be here tonight to witness 6,000 people in that place losing their minds, you included, it was unbelievable. I couldn't help. I mean, I was excited.
You couldn't help but just dive into the energy. It was just like a pool, and you just wanted to dive off the deep end.
And never get out.
And never get out. Honestly, people might say that it takes away from their story to talk about that loss last year in the first round. I say it adds to it.
It does.
I say this made this moment even more dramatic and incredible, and the team never shied away from talking about it. Tony Bennett never shied away from using that to fuel the avenue for their success.
And any fans that we spoke with out here tonight, there was something that they brought up as well. And you know, I don't think we'll ever see something like this again, going from that to this. And the first national championship for so many of these fans, some of the fans that are hanging around with us right now, as a matter of fact.
It's true. I mean, I've been cheering for UVA for a long time. My family has, and I actually ran into a couple of
guys from Lexington. Come on over, boys.
Let's talk to Shane.
Just hang out here.
And Travis. So I saw Shane dancing out of John Paul Jones Arena because he was that excited. Travis following suit here. But we got to ask, how does it feel cheering for the Hoos? All this time, you said 28 years, and today, how does it feel?
Sad that it's unreal.
Yeah.
Sad that it just don't happen. At the very end, we don't make the shots. Sad that it's the ones that do. Sad that they hit the shot on us every year. Sad that it's always them making it, and it's our time.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this much. As just a basketball fan, period, it doesn't matter if you're a fan of Virginia, a fan of whoever, you have to appreciate what we just watched tonight.
Yes.
I mean, how are you feeling?
Good.
Speechless.
Meant a few words. I mean,
just can't get it out.
I
get
don't
it.
blame you. I mean, it's a jubilation that you just really can't describe until you feel it. And I'll ask you this, and it might be a one-word answer too. Have you ever this feeling right now?
Sad that I'm a basketball player myself, and how Guy and Hunter, sad that any of them hit them free throw shots and just finish the game is unreal.
No, we have to ask too about the atmosphere inside there. All the people going crazy. Did you feel like you were in Minneapolis? Did you feel like you were in the middle of all of it? People, it really did make you feel like it was just that kind of moment.
Yeah, and sad that it was unexplainable, but I mean, we've been here, lucky enough to be here one time when they beat Duke. Sad that, and they wouldn't even hear it tonight. We was watching it on TV, but it was something.
Sounds to me like you boys are the good luck charms. I think that's what it is. This is the second time you've been here. First time it was beating Duke. Now you just became national champions.
Been here a lot. Besides that, just the win in Duke. I mean, that was a big one. Besides that,
One more question for you. I got to ask, is it worth coming up here from Lexington, and why did you guys decide to make the drive?
You texted me one night and asked me if I want to come up here and watch it. I told him yeah. Glad to be up here tonight.
Simple as that. Simple as that.
Besides that, late, early. Besides that, we was here.
All right, boys, will y'all go on, get to the corner, wherever it is, y'all got to go dance and party and just be safe tonight. That's all you got to do, right? All right, man.
Yes, they've been our cheerleaders on this side.
Right up top, boys. We appreciate it. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Gentlemen.
All right, so there you go. I mean, sometimes it's tough to describe, and it's a feeling that is undescribable.
Yeah.
It was really wild how the first moment when the CBS broadcast began at about, I guess, 8:30, as soon as they started talking about and showing the team, this just roar, and I felt a goosebump. I'm literally from my toe to the top of my head.
Sounds like you could write a song about that.
You really could. I'm sure somebody has.
I was driving on the way here, trying to listen to the radio, trying to listen to the live stream, but there's nothing like coming into an environment like this. I tell you, it was very special to be here tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd say you could tell from the fans they've had a good time.
I know, you can. And that video, how many people just packed into John Paul Jones Arena tonight to all be together. Thanks, Logan and Victoria, for that angle.
Yeah, and you can just imagine, Gene, as we've been talking about all night, the energy that has been, what it's been like on the UVA grounds. And you can see here the tension on those faces in the crowd. I mean, there was those moments, and this is something that many fans of the program had only dreamed of. And all those watching along held out hope for the Hoos when it came down to the wire. Now, their faith paid off. Here is just a taste of what the celebration sounded like on campus.
Let's go, baby! Who's next? Let's go, baby! Let's go! Let's go, Hoos! Who's on top, baby?
And that is more like it. So from Charlottesville to Minneapolis, plenty of you have just, been taking to social media, of course, tonight, sharing the excitement and sharing posts about personal experience during tonight's historic game.
Definitely so. And our Jane Caffrey has been scouring all of those social media posts. Jane, if they were anything like the game, you came across some pretty entertaining stuff, I have a feeling.
Gene, Melissa, all kinds of things on social media, people sharing their sheer excitement for the Wahoos and others venting about their stress during that nail-biting close game. All right, so check this out. A great grandma completely decked out with her hat and pom-pom. Her great-grandson Noah says that she is the biggest UVA fan he knows. And this one, Meg Bowen, took her anxiety out during the game in a great way, confirmed stress baking is a thing. Love those UVA cookies. All right, Cavaliers fans sure put in the effort to get to the championship. For Austin Mitchell, a 17.5-hour drive and less than 4 hours of sleep but all worth it. And he was joined by some VIP fans at the US Bank Stadium, like UVA alumni and current NFL players. The stars were out. And the party wasn't just in Minneapolis, as you just saw. Thousands of people packed the John Paul Jones Arena. UVA tweeted that you can hear the JPJ from Minnesota. I wouldn't be surprised if you could. And Fan Shay says it well here. Wake me up, this can't be real. And that hashtag, champions. So what an incredible journey for UVA, reflected on social media. 1 year after that tough loss, some people online are even calling for a movie about this great sports story with a storybook ending.
Makes sense.
I think it'd make a nice movie.
Sure
and I'd like to go to the woman's house who does the stress baking.
Yeah.
That's a good spot to watch the game.
Yeah.
I'm all about the lady with the Dr. Pepper can hat.
Oh, that was so cute.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Jane.
All right, we have so much more to get to on this exciting, historic night.
Still ahead, we will meet one special fan who had to overcome some obstacles to cheer on his favorite team. That is coming up after the break. But first, here is another look at the play that kept the Cavaliers alive, clearing the way for that overtime win.
Jerome gives it up, far side, Hunter hits the three to tie.
An exciting night at John Paul Jones Arena in Charlottesville as fans packed in the stadium to cheer on the Cavaliers. If Minneapolis is the center of this epic showdown, the center of the epic party is at the corner in downtown Charlottesville, particularly at Boylan Heights, where people started partying well before tip-off.
Yes, and tonight, UVA law students had a chance to blow off some steam. WDBJ7's Leanna Scacchetti has their story.
For UVA's law students, the championship game was a case they could all get behind.
What if the Who's don't win?
I don't know what you just said. I'm so sorry.
Booking the bar for a last-minute party, the law school's executive board sold 150 tickets in less than an hour. Prime evidence of the power of the Who's.
22 minutes. Yeah. And law students don't like to wake up early.
An early day leading to a long night, where the party is all around you.
I think law students never really need an excuse to go out and have a really good time to release a little bit of the stress, so this is a great excuse.
Matt Simpson is part of the jury, watching the Cavaliers make an appeal for the title.
You know, 2 years here, the first year is a little rough. This year, a lot of redemption, so definitely been enjoying both rides, but this year's a lot sweeter, so it's good.
And for Simpson, the ride here is one he didn't need to see to believe.
Well, I think it's being around the environment, the people. You know, we got all the community here. Everybody's going crazy. Everybody's having fun. So, you know, that's what it's all about. It doesn't really matter if you can see what's going on. It's about the environment.
An athlete himself, Simpson competed in the Rio Paralympics and understands full well the pressure the Who's face on the court.
You know, it's the biggest night of their lives, and I bet they're just soaking it all in and, you know, ready to come out and win a national championship.
Simpson and his law school peers are ready to defend their Who's, no matter the outcome.
Let's go Who's!
I'd say those law students deserve a little break.
Yes, break from the stress.
Yes, some downtime. Okay,
Yeah.
so while the corner was buzzing, plenty of UVA fans cheered on the Cavaliers from campus. WDBJ7's Kendall Davis found students who say, win or lose, it has been a great season for the Wahoos.
Tonight's game is where the circle fully closes.
And things have definitely come around full circle for UVA students who were devastated from last year's loss.
Glum just sort of spread all around the campus, or grounds rather, and students everywhere were distraught and very upset.
But for many, like senior Davis McNulty, the loss didn't crush their spirit.
In reality, I knew that we'd bounce back. I never lost that faith, and I always kept that with me.
That was the inspiration behind this shirt McNulty created called The Comeback Season, to remind him of the life lessons he learned from last season.
To always keep positivity, always remain in good faith, or never underestimate any opponent that you may face in life in general.
And for freshman Sam Brittany Pandy, this run has shown her how the campus can come together.
As a whole, everyone can agree that we want our Who's to win, so I think it's a great way in bridging, you know, different gaps of understanding that we may have at this institution and just creating a broader community.
As time on campus winds down for McNulty, he's grateful to be a part of this season.
Win or lose, we've made history, and we've really proved to ourselves that we could get that monkey off our back and we could really make a positive impact and make change. So it's been fantastic.
All right, thank you for those reports from Charlottesville. In just a moment, we're going to head back to Minneapolis, where a press conference is about to start with the players.
Yes, it's going to be exciting. Everybody wanting to know what they have to say. Yes. Up next, we will check back in with Logan Sherrill and Victoria Wood. They are going to give us a look back inside the JPJ watch party, where fans, they got their win.
Show zone and get to that man. Hunter hit the shot at the end of regulation.
Wouldn't you love to hear from the UVA players about tonight's game?
I think a lot of people
would. I think so. Let's go right out to Minneapolis for a live press conference.
My brother, they were crying, so I couldn't help it.
Front row to the right side.
Ty, what a roller coaster ride. Just talk about the whole tournament in general and just your mentality going in with these last second wins all the time.
Just to remain faithful to the little things. Coach Bennett always talks about staying faithful, and he told us, don't grow weary in doing good, and that's for every possession mindset. It's a life mindset, So you just play to that buzzer sounds, and the fact that I missed that floater in regulation, and Coach Bennett called the exact same play, it just shows how much my teammates believe in me, how much he believes in me, and we just played to that buzzer sounds. We all believe in each other, and it's the most special team I've ever been on.
Up front on the left side.
Ty, you talked yesterday about how growing up you would watch national championship games, staying up late to watch them. You mentioned the Mario Chalmers shot. I mean, what's it like knowing that little kids probably stayed up past their bedtime watching what you guys just did?
Yeah, it's unreal. I haven't really, thought about all that stuff yet. I haven't really had time to reflect on anything. I just been trying to enjoy the moment, and yeah, it still don't feel real. It still doesn't feel real. Come on, bro, talk properly.
To the left of the aisle, midway back.
Yeah, Doug Dowdy from the Roanoke Times. This is for Kyle. The question was kind of asked before, but how much did last weekend's games help prepare you guys for a stretch run like this, and particularly also the semifinal game?
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've taken, every experience that we've been through together and tried to use it in a way that could, propel us to a national championship. All those close games and, all the practices where we practice late game situations, we tried to execute, and we were very disciplined. And I think that got us through a lot of games, along with, just trying to leave it all on the floor. And I think we succeeded at those things.
On the right side, fourth row, and this will be the final question for the student athletes before they head back to the locker room.
Paul Woody, Richmond Times-Dispatch. This is for Kyle and Ty. It's a long haul to a national championship for any team, probably a little bit longer for you guys. Can you imagine going through it and surviving it and getting to this point with any other coach other than Coach Bennett?
Ty first.
We'll go straight down the line. Ty, you can go first, then Kyle, then DeAndre.
Why would it be longer for us than other teams, though?
Perhaps because you don't want to mention or think about what happened, how last year ended.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, for us, it actually wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Last year, it drew us even closer together, and, it made us enjoy every part of the season even more. It made us enjoy each other's company more on the road. We grew closer together off the court. So it wasn't like a rush to get to this championship game and then win it so the season could be over so we could prove all you guys wrong. It was more just, we grew even more united, and we enjoyed every part of the season. And then obviously to finish the year like this is unreal. And to answer your question, no, we couldn't have done this with any other coach.
Kyle.
Yeah, to expand more on that, Coach said something that really resonated with us, is to run to the start line, not the finish line. And we've done that every single game this year. Joy is in the competition. But, to be able to give him a national championship and do it for him, the program, and our families, it means the world. And I wish I had the words, but it just still does not feel real.
DeAndre.
Yeah. Joy is in the competition, like Kyle said. There's a great win for our program, great win for our coach. We worked for this all offseason, and all that work just paid off.
We want to congratulate and thank Ty, Kyle, and DeAndre. They're going to head back to the Virginia locker room, which is open for student-athlete availability right now.
Good job.
First question for Coach Bennett is going to come all the way on the right side.
I love the advice that you heard there that Coach gave the players.
Free Press. There's
and
a
we're gonna
picture
hear
in
from,
your house you've
Coach
talked
Tony
about
Bennett.
before
Here
with
you go.
these three guys and Jay Huff as that part of that 2016 class. They've seen a lot of things now in their time at UVA. What are the emotions now attached to that picture, and how does this change that picture and the feelings that you'll see when you see it?
Yeah, when they came on the recruiting visit, I remember telling them, look, the foundation has been laid by guys, Joe and Malcolm were here and all the guys who went before. And we had won some ACC championships. We've been to the Elite Eight. I said, we're asking you to build on that foundation and even at that house. And that's going to be the hardest step. But if you're willing, I said, we'll take a chance at it. That's why I mentioned the Rocky poster. I said, I want guys who want a chance at a title fight. And to see them come in either as young men or boys and grow into men, this season, and I'll mention what happened last year, that can only mature you. I don't know of anything else that would allow these guys to be able to handle this situation and to play through stuff and to have a perspective and a poise and resiliency unless they went through something that hard. And they're really good players. They don't probably get enough credit. Well, I think some of them do for their talent, but they had something different about them collectively. One of our themes, I told them before the Auburn game, I said, just bring your 2 fish and 5 loaves. It's a story in the Bible. And I said, it'll be enough. I said, it'll be enough for the masses. I said, when you guys play the right way, the collectiveness of it takes over. And I've watched it and I've stepped back and I've seen this. And now I've seen them mature through everything. And for them to do what they did, and how they've won, it's a great story. It really is.
On the right side, left of the aisle, Dan.
Hey, Tony. Dan Wolken, USA Today. Congratulations, first
Thank
of
you.
all. As the game went on, from the perspective of somebody who's definitely not a coach, it seemed like Texas Tech was trying to do more and more things to get someone other than DeAndre onto Culver. How did you see that?
Yeah.
Why did DeAndre have so much success against Culver, and how did you just sort of evaluate his defensive performance?
That was the matchup. Let me see his stats. 5 of 22. I didn't realize this was that. And he's such a talented player. We wanted that matchup. We really wanted to have that matchup. So Coach Beard did a great job of they went small. When they went small, we had a match and go small. Braxton did a great job, and we wanted to switch the ball screens. And then we were a little worried because he is so good, but we just tried to make it happen as much as possible, and Dre just made him work to get shots. DeAndre, he was just named the Defensive Player of the Year, and his length and his ability to lock in and slide is as good as most. And I thought, that was a great two-way performance, defensively and offensively in this game, in this setting, and he saved his best for last. And that tells you there's something in that young man, and he's got more. He's scratching the surface, but we had to have that because I don't know if we had anybody else one-on-one who could guard him. And I said it comes down to making plays. Yes, offensively, but it comes down to making plays defensively. And I thought he did that and made Culver earn, certainly. Jarrett.
Left to the center aisle, Doug.
Yeah, you kind of alluded to it, but offensively it seemed as if DeAndre took charge there at the end. Do you tell him to take charge, or sometimes it seems like he's, trying not to take over?
Yeah, that's, DeAndre usually lets it come, and that I think he grew up in a way in this tournament in the second half of the Auburn game, and definitely, and he was getting his shots, but you saw it in him, and that when he puts that into it, boy, he's special. But no, we were trying to get him the ball. Ty is so good, and our players, they understand. He's like, all right, we got to get him the ball in these situations and go to work. And we did call. I'm not sure I can answer the question. We did call an action for him to hit that 3 in the corner, and then one time Ty made a great pass. But I thought he really showed an aggressiveness that we needed. You need your top players to step up and make plays, and he did it on both ends.
right of the center aisle. Mike, we're going to use the front left microphone, Matt.
Tony, Mike Barber, Richmond Times-Dispatch. I believe you were 12 for 12 at the free throw line
Yes.
in the overtime. Can you just speak to, one, the poise your guys showed in the overtime, and also did the previous games prepare them for, they didn't seem either out of gas, they didn't seem too emotional in handling the overtime?
No, well, I tell you, we had 3 Saturday, Monday games. We played Duke at home, and then we had to go to Carolina. And I think I said this in the podium before, but I said this is how it's going to be in the tournament, and this is how we're going to prepare on Sunday. And we did that every time we had those games, and we did it in the NCAA tournament, the day in between. And they knew what to expect. And I said, you're built for this. You're prepared for this because this is what we did. And we started that process in January in that Duke Carolina weekend. And I said, just get after it. And we worked in between. A lot of people just walk through. I don't know what people do. I just know from my experience as a coach in the Pac-10 how important that day is in between and how we just have to prepare well, and get after it. And so I think they stepped in the moment. They faced pressure through the year, through the tournament, and all that stuff played into it. And that a lot goes to our strength coach, Mike Curtis. I mean, he has those guys as finely tuned machines, and they work. We were smart at the end of the year with how much rest we gave them and prepared them. It's just, a balance, and obviously it hit.
In the center, Nancy.
Nancy Armour, USA Today. Tony, this is a two-parter. You said that what happened last year really forged them this year, but there are a lot of people twice their age that wouldn't have been able to do this. What is it about them that allowed them to do that? And then also tonight, they didn't just seem to survive this; they seem to really be having fun tonight.
Yep.
And is that part of it?
Yeah, the quote that DeAndre said, and I told him this. It's about the joy of competition and the fun in the pursuit of a championship. And that. I love it. And the quote that my wife, actually, I just saw, she went to that TED Talk, and you talk about being almost prophetic, what that says, if you learn to use it right, the adversity, it will buy you a ticket to a place you couldn't have gone any other way. And I don't know if, maybe we could have, but I don't know, going through what we did last year and having to, it helped me as a coach, all the stuff that they talked about, I think, bought us a ticket to a national championship. And at the time, you wouldn't have thought it, but they were battle-tested. They were, you can't go through the stuff that no one's experienced. And again, it is a game, we talked about it, but they had to deal with things, their own stuff inside and the opinion of others, and just come together and tighten it in a way. And they went after it in terms of developing their own game, and then how they played. They were a joy to coach. I mean, they worked. And anything I said, yes, sir, they would just go after it. And we pushed them hard, but we also loved on them too. And I think it was the balance of that. And they knew it. And they knew we were in this together. That's why we said this is our united pursuit. That was our theme, and I love that because it was everything we had.
On the right side toward the back.
Coach Kyle Guy, most outstanding tournament player. Why do you think he is at his best when the lights are brightest?
Yeah. I got a text from Dabo Sweeney who said, let the light shine in you that shines in you be brighter than the light that shines on you. And I think he has something in him. I love that quote. I don't know where it was, but I thought it was so good. And I shared it with the guys. And he has something in big games and makes plays. It's just, he has it in him. I know he's a young man of faith, and he has great confidence in himself. And, he's honest, and he's got it. And he did it again and made big shots. And I've seen that from little on. You look at him, I mean, he's not the most physical guy, but it's inside. Ty has that in him, and so does Kyle, and DeAndre showed it tonight. DeAndre has all the ability in the world, and that's coming, and Kihei has it, and I can go down the list, but that's what you look for. You take guys who are tough mentally and skilled and smart and have enough athleticism, and you can be really good.
On the right side, all the way back, Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck Culpepper from the Washington Post. Tony, for you, has the pain gone away completely now?
Yeah, I mean, you have scars, right? You have a scar, and it reminds you of that. But, it's a memory, and does it go away completely? No, I wish that wouldn't have happened in some ways. Now I say, well, if it bought us a ticket here, so be it. But I'm thankful in a way for what happened because it drew me closer, most importantly, to my faith in the Lord, drew me closer to my wife and children, just because I say you realize what's unconditional in those spots when the world's telling you you're a failure, you're a loser, and you're the worst thing going and all that stuff. You say, okay, what really matters? And it pushed me to that in a way. And then it drove me to, I think as a staff, we became better. We had to look at how can we change if we're in this spot again and we play certain teams and we adjusted some things. That helped. And again, all the lessons from that. So is the pain gone? I mean, I still feel a little, because I remember that feeling, but I think I'm okay.
Up front.
Coach Schaefer Murray, Washington Sports Network. Not sure if you know this, but you still have a huge fan base in the Northwest. Just talk about how your days at Wazoo and those teams with Rochester and Lowe and Baines, and just talk about how they kind of just propelled you on your way.
Derek Lowe was here. Ben Johnson, who's my dear friend and coach. Taylor Rochester was at the games. I think David Harmeling was here. Jeff Varum was here. These are guys that I played for. I was given a chance by Jim Sturk and Ann McCoy to take that job. My dad came out of retirement, that whole story. Those were my formative years, and we did special things there. And it prepared me in ways. It allowed me, honestly, to take chances on guys like Ty Jerome, Kyle Guy, guys that I saw because I had to do that at Washington State. And I realized if their heart is right and their character is right and they're tough and they're skilled, you can maybe miss in some areas, but that will end up taking you further than maybe just looking at just talent alone or skimping in some others. So that was everything.
And the final question for the national championship coach.
Tony, Steve Futterman from CBS News. You know, a great philosopher might say one can only appreciate the highest of highs if one has experienced the lowest of lows. And in a sports sense, in a basketball NCAA playoff sense, you have had both those experiences. Mm-hmm. Would you agree with that? Do you think that makes this special because you understand the depths that you can appreciate the heights tonight?
Yeah, I think for sure it added to it. Absolutely, it makes you appreciate it. I never thought of myself being a national championship coach. I wasn't even going to really get into coaching. I wasn't crazy about it. I loved playing. And then, you know, I saw my dad's team go to the Final Four. I was a volunteer manager, and I got into it. I love the young men. I love the game. But it's not my end-all, be-all. I think there was a bigger plan going on here, and I wasn't needed, but I was used in it, and I hope that, you know, it's a message for some people that there can be hope and joy and resiliency, and I'm thankful for what happened. That's what I did at the end. When that horn went off, I just put my head down and I said, thank you, I'm humbled, Lord, because I don't deserve to be in this spot, but you chose me to be here, and I'll give thanks. And I told our guys in the locker room, I just said, put your arms around each other. I said, take a look at every guy in here, look at each other. I said, promise me you will remain humble and thankful for this. Don't let this change you. It doesn't have to. We'll have memories. We'll be at each other's weddings, or I'll be at their weddings. Yes. But stay humble and stay thankful. It's a great story. That's probably the best way I can end this. It's a great story.
I want to thank Coach Bennett for appearing here all week long and taking our questions, and congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Wow, Coach Tony Bennett smiling ear to ear to ear.
Yeah.
He said a great story.
And such a classy guy.
Yeah,
I mean,
he is.
I love the advice too, Gene, that he said that he remembered that he gave to his players in the room, and that was, let the light inside of you shine brighter than the light that's on you. I mean, he's all about humility, and you really see that in a national championship win like this one.
Right, and telling the guys, don't let this change you.
Yeah.
Good advice. All right, we will go back to Minneapolis in just a little bit, but first let's get a check on your weather with Brent Watts.
From the Virginia's Blue Ridge Weather Center, here's your hometown forecast.
What a day. Yes, we started out with the severe weather this afternoon. We had the hail that fell. In fact, some cases enough you could shovel it with your shovel, and even some of these big pieces, over 1 inch size hail in some areas of this afternoon. We are looking at a quiet stretch of weather setting up for us over the next couple days. I do anticipate that we'll have clearing skies during the afternoon tomorrow, but still finding a couple scattered showers now from rich lands extending back towards Bristol. This is moving east towards Marion. A little bit of a break in the NRV, but you'll see some more showers later. And a couple downpours that have been following along the 501 and 29 corridors extending through Halifax County from Halifax to South Boston. That's tracking east towards South Hill. And there's a few more showers down in North Carolina near Raleigh and Durham, but nothing severe this evening. Just know that we have still the chance for a few scattered showers. Track to the west and you can see a beautiful night in Minneapolis, 51 degrees there. What a great night for fans to celebrate. Now this is that time of year when we do get some severe weather. In fact, you're looking at the tornadoes. Typically month to month, we get about 3 on average in April. It's second only to September, kind of our fall severe weather season. So it is right on time for us to get some of that severe weather out there. Temperatures in the 50s and 60s right now. We're going to continue to cool ever so slightly tonight, not dropping all that much, but just enough to create some fog. So please be aware of that later on tonight. Lows getting down into the upper 50s with mostly cloudy skies and that stray shower chance. Tomorrow I'm expecting a mix of clouds and sunshine, especially during the early afternoon. We'll hang on to the clouds in the morning. Just a slight chance of a shower as we get through the day, but it will be a warmer afternoon. Those highs topping out in the mid to upper 70s, even close to 80 in a couple of spots. Allergy levels staying on the high side the next couple of days until we get some more rain in here, and it looks like that is going to happen as we get into Friday. Minneapolis getting some snow. In fact, a blizzard coming up for them on Thursday into Friday. That same system brings us some rain to end the week, and it does look like that we have more rain as we head towards Saturday and Sunday. Sunday going to be our next chance of rain. That lingers into Monday, but right now things are looking dry for Saturday, the Blue Ridge Marathon.
All right, and Brent, you said those allergy report is up. My husband actually said to me today, I'm starting to feel like some allergies coming on.
It's easy to see why when you look at that.
Yeah,
a lot of folks.
Thank you, Brent. Hey, how about we hear more from the Cavaliers?
I think that
That's
would
what
be a good
everybody's talking
idea.
about.
Let's head back to Minneapolis and sports director Travis Wells. Hi there, Trav.
Hey guys, earlier we talked about Braxton Key's contributions off the bench tonight for UVA and Tony Bennett's team. Braxton had 6 points, 10 big rebounds in 28 minutes of action. Here was Braxton courtside a few minutes ago amidst the celebration.
Great. I mean, this is what we worked for our whole life. I mean, you're a kid shooting in your driveway. You're 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I mean, you watch what's it called? What the video that just was on? One Shining Moment. One Shining Moment. I'm sorry, I'm just going blank. You watch the One Shining Moment. I mean, you see all these things, and you're just. I mean, it's a blessing to be here. It's crazy. It was huge. I mean, we're always one man. Every next man be ready. I mean, that's one of our mottos. I mean, just trust the process and stay faithful to it. I mean, you never know when your number's gonna be called. I didn't play much last game and 2 games prior to that, and I mean, Coach trusted me today to do whatever I had to do, and I mean, I thank him to that. All the glory to him. All the glory to God. Yeah, I mean, this is what I came here for. I wanted to win a national championship. With the cord coming back, and I thought if I was able to be eligible this year, I thought we had a good chance at it. I mean, there's obviously some really good teams here. I mean, Texas Tech, they're a great team. You got to tip your hat off to them. Every team here in the Final Four is a great team. But I just thought, I mean, with our work ethic and our drive, and that was whatever was fueling us from last year about losing UMBC, I just thought we had a good chance to win it all this year.
What a night for the Alabama transfer who etched his name into the Virginia history books tonight. Appropriately, Ralph Sampson's his uncle. Ralph had a few special moments in a UVA uniform too. Gene and Melissa.
He sure did.
What a night. So no matter who you were going for, you can't help but be happy for the Cavaliers tonight and Coach Bennett.
I know, a great game. All right, thank you, Travis from Minneapolis. And I liked the way, he had the piece of the net around his ear. A nice little touch with the champion on the hat. Okay, let's head back out to Charlottesville now with WDBJ7's Logan Sherrill and Victoria Wood.
Hey guys,
Hey.
yeah, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
It is. I like how you guys were talking about the piece of net in the hat, and the visual that just keeps coming to my mind is when they won the Final Four game and Tony Bennett just getting emotional still on the ladder, and just you really hardly ever see him break form, but he just let out a yell on that ladder and just like gripped it like really hard. It was amazing to see that, just the emotion.
After seeing that, I wanted to see what it would look like, and unfortunately, like with us running around kind of like chickens with our head cut off after the game, didn't get a chance to see him cutting down those nets. And I would imagine, I don't know if he can get his mouth much bigger than that, but if there's a way to do it, Tony Bennett could be the guy to do it. You know, the other thing that I've noticed in here outside of John Paul Jones Arena, probably 6,000 people in there, huge UVA fans, so excited. Even people behind the camera hooting and hollering still. The family atmosphere, and you even see it on the shirts that the players wear, and a lot of people around here wear. It's just UVA family.
Yep.
And we were able to meet a family that I mean, it's a generational thing. This is not a brand new. Hey, we're just now UVA fans.
Pass it down, parents
Bingo.
to kids.
Parents to kids, and yeah, they had a pretty cool story. Check it out.
How long have you been a UVA fan?
Since birth.
Like many of these wild Wahoos, Joy Abel is a lifelong fan, all thanks to her dear old dad. It's a family thing. As you can see, they roll deep.
UVA! 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 I came in to basketball games with him, and I saw Ralph Sampson's last home game, and so that was 1983, and I never thought I would see this ever again, so I'm so excited.
And just like her dad taught her, Joy's daughter Elle didn't fall too far from the tree.
We were in a hotel, and she was screaming in the lobby, and I was there screaming with her, and it's just been a lot of fun.
Have you ever seen her act like that?
Yeah, every game.
They're talking about that game against Auburn on Saturday, but the emotion didn't stop there.
It looks like you're about to start crying on me.
It was emotional. It was emotional. We were together in D.C. watching this last game, and I was almost in tears, and I could not believe he pulled that out. What a redemption story for him after last year. I mean, so happy for him.
That time referencing Kyle Guy's 3 free throws to seal the deal on Saturday. Now, it's on to the biggest game in the history of the program. And as long as this family is side by side, win or lose, it's an experience they will never forget.
Yeah, and not only did we talk to them before the game, we met up with them right after the game, and we're going to see that interview. I'll put that up online because they were just as excited, well, obviously a lot more excited, just like these fans around here hanging out. Yeah, they were really, really happy about that win tonight.
They were, and speaking of family, you couldn't help but get emotional watching Dick Bennett there at the game. There was always a question because Tony talks about how nervous his dad gets. Like, is he actually going to show up? I don't think he was at the Final Four game, but he was there tonight. They showed shots of him in the crowd all night long, and to see Tony and his dad embrace there at the very end of the game, man, that's just too emotional to put into words. I can't explain it.
Not the only people talking to family tonight.
No, speaking of dads, my dad's a huge UVA fan, and he's been cheering them on for as long as I can remember, as long as I've been born, through the ups and the downs and the rough patches and the seasons when they could hardly win in the ACC. And here they are now. He's been faithful till the end, and man alive, I'm surprised that my mom could tolerate that tonight because I'm sure he was screaming his head off.
I think it's understandable tonight.
Yes.
And now you guys can officially call yourself fans of a national championship winning basketball team.
And Melissa, we love you so much, and we just want to extend the invitation to join this Wahoo family, at least tonight. You Red Raider.
I know. Hey, who would I be if I didn't go for the school I graduated from? But hey, I appreciate
you know,
two.
Mel, I do appreciate. No, I appreciate you going full force with the whole black dress, the red shoes.
She was rocking the red shoes.
Wreck 'em, you know, the whole deal.
Yeah, I just
But
appreciate
maybe
you
next
two
year.
keeping
It's a
it
great game.
classy and bringing that up live on the air. Very
That's
classy.
what I did. Come on,
Very
now.
classy.
Hey, I don't have to be sitting next to you to get after you. Come on now.
You should have seen her
I'm
in
the
the
one who got
newsroom
after you, in all
watching the
fairness.
game. It was a nail biter, but a great game.
Oh,
What
I
a
know.
game for the Red Raiders too.
A nail chomper.
A great team. So all right, Logan. All right, Victoria. Thanks for that report. And yes, Melissa is wearing red shoes for the Red Raiders.
Yes.
But you know.
Yeah. It was a good game.
It was
we
a
still
good
have
game.
much more coverage of the NCAA Championship. I think we're going to check back in with Travis Wells, our sports director, and we'll be right back after this quick break.
Takes the jumper.
Rebound into the hands of Hunter. They lost to UMBC, bouncing back. Talk about character.
Welcome back, everybody. What a night it was here in Minneapolis, Minnesota for the Virginia Cavaliers. We got contributions from plenty of people. Let's take a look at some more highlights from tonight's game against Texas Tech. Kyle Guy was named the Final Four's most outstanding player. He put on a show throughout the previous 3 weeks, including tonight, getting a bucket here. He finished with 24 points against the Red Raiders. Ty Jerome, his running mate, certainly did his part. Jerome poured in 16 points of his own. The story tonight, it was a big one. DeAndre Hunter, 27 points to lead the way for the Cavaliers. That's a career high for DeAndre, and if this was his last game in a Virginia uniform, boy, did he go out with a bang. We mentioned Mamadi Diakite a little bit earlier and how big his defense was. Mamadi had 9 points, 7 rebounds, and 2 big block shots. Defense has been Tony Bennett's calling card ever since he got to Charlottesville. And it's worked. Even though some of the experts said it wouldn't, you couldn't win with defense and methodical offense. The Who's proved that notion wrong tonight.
We just kept knocking, and we knew they were a good team, defensively and offensively. I don't think people give a lot of credit to them offensively, but they're good offensively. They played a lot of ISOs, but we're just able to get focused and get the job done because obviously we wanted to win. And they kept saying that. We didn't worry about it. I didn't even know if they were saying it. Now we're champion. We believe in ourselves since we lost that game against UMBC. Told ourselves, okay, we're gonna come back and do it. Now we did it with Tony Bennett's system. And if you don't believe it, I guess you're not, in on another planet. So.
Mamadi's had the blonde hair the entire postseason. Maybe now he can go back to his normal brown. Not sure if that's in the cards or not, guys.
Kind of like the blonde hair. Maybe he ought to keep it.
That could be bad luck if he goes any other color, Trav.
That's right. And, I heard a couple of the players tonight say, Ty Jerome and Kyle Guy, that it's unreal, still unreal.
Yeah.
Maybe it's kind of starting to sink in tonight that they actually are the national champs.
Yeah, I think they'll have a lot of people follow that blonde hairdo. What do you think, Jean?
I think they might.
They
I
might.
like it. You could
a lot
definitely
of the UVA fans out there.
I like it. He can carry it off.
All right, we want to show you what the crowds look like in Charlottesville. You can see the streets absolutely packed with fans on this historic night. Can you imagine, Jean, being there? I mean, look, we talked about the party going into this game, but now, can you imagine?
It's a big party going on in Charlottesville. No morning classes, hopefully, for the students. All right, we will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Here's going to that bench. Up ahead, they've got Key. Say goodnight. And dunks it.
All right, very happy Virginia Cavalier fans sporting all their hats, T-shirts, navy and orange.
It might be almost 1:30 in the morning, but the hype, it has not calmed down just yet.
No, the party is just probably getting started. In some parts of Charlotte, so we showed you a little bit ago what the crowds looked like.
Yeah.
They are filling the streets, absolutely packed with fans. Look at that, Melissa. I mean,
unbelievable.
Just people running out into the street and just a night they will not forget.
Yeah, I mean, this was historic. WDBJ7's Leanna Scacchetti was there.
We have been down at the corner for most of the day where people started celebrating early. That celebration, as you can see, has continued well into the night, even after the game has concluded. Thousands of students, Charlottesville residents, all down congregating in a neighborhood called The Corner, where most of the celebrations for the Cavaliers for March Madness have been taking place. We've been speaking with students all day about what a historic win this is for the college, how much pride they are feeling in their school. A lot of people giving a lot of praise to Coach Tony Bennett for what he has been able to do for the team and for the students here. Large police presence, keeping an eye on all of the activities here. Obviously, this has been a boost for a lot of the businesses in the area. One of the bars nearby, we spent most of the day in talking to students, had to close for an hour to prepare for the rest of the night. This is clearly an epic night for Charlottesville, an epic night for the Cavaliers, one that looks like it's going to continue into the early hours of the morning. Again, a big and historic win for the Cavaliers. A lot of prideful students tonight will be very tired tomorrow morning. Reporting from Charlottesville, Leanna Scacchetti, WDBJ 7.
And hopefully they go to class.
Maybe.
She said they're going to be tired. I don't know. They may not show up.
They may not go to class. Well, you know, the faculty may not want to go to class either
This
because
is very
they're
true.
probably celebrating just the same. And WDBJ 7's Logan Sherrill and Victoria Wood were in John Paul Jones Arena watching thousands of fans.
Yeah, they don't
during
have a
this
choice.
game.
They got to show up to class tomorrow.
You mean we don't all have the day off
I know,
tomorrow?
there
Come
is-
on.
No easy road for
There
us.
is no doctor's note long enough or a good enough curse
I
that
can't
we
even
can get
use
out of
the boot on my
doing that
foot as an
tomorrow.
excuse. You remember
I'll
that?
tell you, I wouldn't mind just staying down here and working from Charlottesville tomorrow.
Chilling in Charlottesville.
Once the team gets back and all
Watching the
that,
team.
and I'm
Be
sure there's
cool.
going to be all kind of alumni that were not able to get to Charlottesville tonight.
Right.
Even folks that just love this team that weren't able to make it down here tonight. You better believe in the next couple of days, once the national champion swag hits the store
Ooh.
shelves, this place
And
could be rocking again.
we know from a story that we did on Saturday
Mhm.
that the T-shirts are going to be printed and ready to go in the morning
Oh, yeah.
at Mincer's
I just
on the corner.
I'm wondering if did they open a little early? Maybe.
I don't know.
Who knows? They're gonna be lined up around the block like they were lined up around the block here at JPJ.
Well, let me just tell you, there are probably going to be people in the corner where Leanna is
All
until the store
night long.
opens. So they'll just continue the party right in there, buy their gear, and call it a day.
All right. Before we get out of here, let me ask you that: what is its experience?
Oh my goodness gracious! Just thinking about how fortunate we are to be able to experience this for our jobs, like that's so cool. And
Mhm.
not only that, but just seeing all of the happiness written all over these faces.
Mhm.
And something I love about sports is you can kind of just come together and set aside your differences and come together and enjoy something.
Right.
And that's just so much fun to watch.
And it really is, guys. Again, I mean, I think. I'm sure I'll catch flack for it. I think it's got to be one of the best comeback stories in the history of sports
Absolutely.
from last year to this year, and to put that cherry on top. And I'll say it now. I think Tony Bennett has stamped his name in the Hall of Fame
History
with this
books.
win tonight. There's no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Can't wait to see.
I don't think you'll get in trouble for saying that. I think Jane found some stuff online that's saying they're thinking about making a movie out of what UVA has done, kind of a comeback
No, I mean, if you
story.
think about
it's
it,
movie
Yeah.
worthy.
I mean, this is a Hollywood script.
Yeah.
I mean, what more do you need?
You buy a ticket, I buy a ticket. We'll go.
Who plays
Let's do
Tony
it.
Bennett? George Clooney?
Oh, yeah. I'd say that's a fair choice.
Let's head back out to Minneapolis. Anthony Romano and Travis Wells are there. What an experience for both of you to see the Virginia Cavaliers win the national championship. What was it like to be in the stadium?
Pretty special night. It's been a pretty special 3 weeks to a month here for Anthony and myself. It feels like we've been all over the country, probably because we have been all over the country, following the Hokies and the Who's, and what a way to cap the college basketball season tonight. Anthony, some final thoughts.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think we hit every time zone on the way throughout these last couple of weeks with both the Hokies, of course, the Liberty Flames, and now with the Virginia Cavaliers. And, I mean, I just left the locker room. I was out there on the floor with these guys, and just to see the emotion in their faces, I mean, they finally reached the pinnacle of the sport. Ty Jerome carried the trophy down off of the podium and just kind of collapsed into his parents' arms, head down in their shoulders with the trophy. I mean, just seeing that in person and seeing that raw emotion from these guys, I mean, there's really nothing else that compares. Guys like Jack Salt playing his final game here at UVA as a senior from New Zealand. I mean, just the storylines are endless. Obviously, we could talk about what happened to this team last year, and plenty of people asked, and they still, the credit to the guys, they still talk about that tough loss to UMBC, but that is so far in the past now. They'll probably never have to answer those questions again, and they're national champions, Travis.
National champs, unbelievable year. Anthony, thanks for all your help over the past month. It's been an unbelievable ride. Some lifetime memories, things that these kids can tell their kids and grandkids, no doubt. That's going to wrap things up from here in Minneapolis. For Anthony Romano, photographer Sam Doyle, working hard for you behind the scenes. I'm Travis Wells. Let's send it back to you guys in Roanoke.
Thanks, you guys. Great job to all of you out there. We know it is a super long
Yes.
days, long nights, little sleep.
And they've been out there for weeks.
Yeah, they've been all over the country, as you
Yes.
heard them say. And of course, we will continue to follow the Cavaliers. They're going to be headed back to their home state of Virginia,
Yes.
so we will be there covering it all.
Way to
for
go,
you.
Cavaliers, national champs. Congratulations.
Making history. Thank you so much for joining us. For Melissa Gaona and myself and all of us here at WDBJ7, have a wonderful evening and morning.
Good night.
Good night.
He does. Over to Hunter. Got another one.
Owens forgot. He doesn't want to go out there. A little bit large at the rim. Great read on the...
Jerome. What a dive from the corner.
Oh, what a pass. Nylon compliment.
Takes the jumper. Hits the jumper.
Big time. Early dagger.
Oh, wait a... Tapped around. Guy has it. Zion. And they've got Key. Say goodnight. And ducks it down. 8 points in front.